Hi guys, hope you're well. Today's video is going to be pretty deep. So if you're not ready for a deep video, then maybe move on to the next one. But if you are, you might need this. It might help you a lot. Maybe give it a shot. By the way, I'm sorry if any of this video is really brutal. I'm quite a brutal person. I'm quite direct. I'm quite to the point. It's not meant to offend anybody. It's just meant to help. If you don't find it helpful, move along. Find something else. I'm doing this because I know a lot of people find my direct approach helps them. These videos, they're all my opinions. Crazy fool. They're all just me. I'm not a counsellor. Flap your neck. Nothing like that. I just like helping people. I've just got a bit of life experience. It's balanced quite precariously. I think I could have used some help when I was younger, so this is my sort of way of giving back. I always get a lot of people coming to me for advice. A lot of people saying, I hate my life. There's nothing I can do about it. I want to die, da 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 da. All this stuff. So I thought I'd do a video to sort of give some advice to all of you as a whole, rather than just sort of little bits to different people. Maybe you could take something that links just to you from this video and move all the other parts away for another day, for when you might need them. I have had a past like everybody else. I've learnt a lot to get here. I've learnt to live my life by 5 key points. The first one is external factors. The second one is internal factors. The third one is karma. The fourth one is that everything happens for a reason. And the fifth one is constant improvement of self. The first one we're going to talk about is external factors. Now, I see these like environmental factors, you could call it. I just call it external factors. Things in life that aren't necessarily you, but affect you. It could be anything from family life, the way you're living, school, work, all this kind of thing, right? External things to you that affect how you feel. The big one I get is people telling me they want to run away. I want to get away from this, it's too much. Right, firstly, you can change anything you want to change. If you tell me you want to run away, my first question is why? Right, you need to stop looking so broadly. I want to run away, everything's terrible. You need to pinpoint what the problem is. What are you running away from? You're running away from home, right? So there's something in that home life which is a problem. Who's in the home? It's the family, it's the parents. Maybe the parents are the problem. So you're not running away from home, you're not running away from there, you're just running away from the people, right? Let's narrow it down even further. If it's the parents that are the reason you're running away, why are you running away from them? What is the key factor that makes you think, I can't live there anymore, whatever. Let's say, for example, you want to run away from home because your parents are too controlling. They won't let you do what you want to do. That's quite a common one that I hear. So let's pinpoint that down even further. What specifically has happened to make you feel like they're too controlling? And how have they got to that point, and why have they got to that point? The problem is, when you're sub-18, you are the responsibility of your parents. They're in control of you, you're under their house, it's their rules pretty much. But even though you have to live that way, and it's quite difficult and you feel like you need to run away, there are things you can do to make that a lot easier for both you and your parents, and make it an easy way to live. By compromise. Compromise is a big word for everything in life. Nothing can go exactly how you want it to, nothing's going to go completely wrong, you just need to compromise, right? So let's say your parents have said you can't go out to a party you want to go to, right? And you're distraught, but it's the best party in the world, rah, 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 rah. Shouting from both sides, right? It's not helping anyone. No one's getting anywhere. You're shouting your point, they're not listening. They're shouting their point, you're not listening. No one's going to get anywhere. You're still not going to the party, you're just going to fall out and then want to run away. A key thing to remember is that well-known science phrase, every action... Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. From all this time of you and your parents fighting, back and forth, they're having to push against you because you're pushing against them, stopping you from doing what you want to do on both sides, right? If they're pushing and you're pushing, that's what causes the push, right? If one side's pushing and the other side stops pushing, they're gonna fly, right? So to stop one side pushing, you've got to stop pushing. It gets quite scary for people because as soon as you stop pushing and you start giving in, there's that jerk reaction of going too far one way, and then they have to reel it back, right? So you have to get past that point of giving in, letting them go a bit far and rein it back. It's not quick, it's not an easy fix. You have to let them rein it back in and get back to that middle mark where there's actually no pushing. You're both just level. No one's pushing. There's a slight saunter. It's probably not the word. Saunter. There's a slight movement between who's sort of in control, who's getting what they want, But you can both have what you want. You've just got to stop both sides pushing, because as soon as both sides push, it's just causing tension. There's nowhere for them to go, right? The way to resolve it is to allow there to be space to go somewhere, to do something. Let's say, for example, I want to go to a party. No, you haven't done your homework. Bang, right? As soon as you do your homework, boom. They've gone past. They have nothing, don't have that against you going to the party, right? There might be something else. They might get to there and go, bang, you need to do this first, bang, bang. No, but you're not doing this because I've said so. That is the extreme. They're not used to you not pushing back, so they've just gone, no, you can't go it, because they don't know what else to do. They've got to that point. So maybe that first party, if you've started this just because of a party, it's probably not gonna work for that party, I'm gonna be honest. But it could be all right for the next party. There's always going to be another party, I promise you that. Start this before the party comes up. Start this on a regular daily basis. If you're always getting home and your parents are having a go at you because you haven't done your homework, right? There's always that push against, why haven't you done your homework? Well, I'm playing the Xbox now, I'm playing the PS4 now, I'm not doing it, I'm playing Fortnite, whatever, right? If you get home one day and you've done your homework before they ask, there's no friction there. There's no reason for them to push. Well, have you done your homework? Well, I have. Oh, okay. Thanks. There's no friction. They've stopped having to do that push. If you then do that every day, they ask for your homework, it's done. It's done already. They then stop pushing for that bit. There's then something else to push against, but you have to mediate everything step by step, right? You've got to resolve problems little by little. No problems are resolved hugely straight away. You have to resolve them little by little. You have to break them down. Makes it a lot easier. So let's say you've done your homework, they're not arguing about that for that anymore, and then they start pushing you for something else. You need to do some chores. Okay, so that's fine. Potentially have to do some chores. These potentially things that you don't love doing all the time. You don't necessarily want to fill up your day with them, but to mediate the ground, because you know that as the more you do for them, the more it will benefit you later on, that's what you do, right? And then you can start, when there's stop being so much pushing, you can start having proper conversations and you can start compromising. Okay, well, I've done my homework. There's this party coming up in 2 weeks' time that I really want to go to. What do I need to do to be able to go? Okay, because then you've given them a choice. You're saying, I want to go to this. This is the end game. How do I get from where I am now to the end game? Okay? And they might say, well, it's not happening. You're already past the push point, right? So you need to start bringing it back slowly. So you haven't given it enough time to get to that party. So you have to wait for the next party. But if you've given it enough time, if you've been doing the homework every week, if you've been doing the chores, if you haven't been fighting as much, you're getting on a lot better, you're starting to have human conversations, adult conversations, you can say, what do I need to do to go to this party in 2 weeks? And they go, right, well, you need to make sure your homework's done. You make sure all the chores are done, da-da-da-da. Maybe it seems a little bit impossible. And then you go, okay, look, honestly, I can do my homework. I can do the chores. I can potentially do this. But reasonably, I won't have enough time to do all this. Can we make a compromise? Can we say I do my chores and the homework and something else, and then I can go to the party? Like, I'm pushing myself here, I want you to try and meet me in the middle. And then you can have conversations, you can start doing it. And then you see quickly how these little tiny things that potentially don't mean anything, like it's your homework, you'd have had to do it anyway. It's your mum or your dad, you're just whinging at you because they want it done first thing. Right? How much has it really affected you to do your homework as soon as you got home rather than after you've played Fortnite for 3 hours? Right? You can still play Fortnite for 3 hours after your homework. There's just not an argument. Do you know what I mean? It's resolving the arguments before they happen so that there's no friction, there's no conflict, And all of a sudden you start being more back and forth rather than fixed in the middle fighting, right? You need to resolve the arguments before they come, before they happen, and life will be much better. And then you see in the bigger picture, if we step back out again, maybe you don't want to run away anymore because you don't need to, because you get on with your parents, because they're not so controlling, right? It all links up. You just have to start looking little by little by little, breaking it down into a pinpoint reaction, right? So that, I mean, that's just one external factor. I've gone on for friggin' ages about external factors and only really covered one topic. But think about, is it an external factor? What do you think it is? And then start breaking it down. Why is it really happening? Let's start looking and pinpointing problems to try and resolve them little by little. That's the takeaway from today. I hope you've learned something from this video. I hope I haven't blabbered on too much. If you have any questions, be sure to give me a comment or try and get in touch with me, and I'll try and help you all out. Thanks guys, see you next time.